Hello everyone, so welcome back to another video. So we're doing like a different video today. We're doing like a Cornell 101 videos for any freshmen who just got into Cornell or interested about Cornell or any transfers as well. So a little bit about me. I'm Maya. I'm a sophomore studying econ and info sci. I'm here with Lydia.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm a sophomore transfer student studying nutritional sciences at Cal's.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, this is like a Cornell 101 video just to know a little bit more about Cornell if you're interested in applying or like learn more about it before committing. So yeah, we'll just jump right into the frequently asked questions.
Alright, first question, what is dorm life like at Cornell and how do you pick your housing as a freshman and how do roommates work?
Yeah, so basically once you get in, there'll be like a housing form and you kind of put your preference in terms of you want a single, double, triple, and quad. And obviously you have the option to pick your roommate. So what most people do is they find a roommate through mutual friends, or they have like the Cornell like 29 or whatever year you're admitted like page, and you kind of like meet new freshmen through that. So people tend to DM each other. So that's how you kind of pick roommates. Or and again, if you want to be a single, you kind of preference single and then triple and quad. And as well, you kind of put like your preference in like lifestyle, like what time you sleep, and then et cetera, et cetera. And in terms of the actual dorms, they do vary and you can't pick. So it's kind of random, which could be either good or bad. There's good dorms like RBG and Clintalk, and then there are bad dorms such as like Donlin and high rises and low rises. So it really it's based on luck. But if you are a girl, you can pick like the all female dorms, which is what I did for my freshman year. Right now it is at Balch and it's like a newly renovated building. So I recommend if you are a girl just to like be safe with the dorming options. But again, they do vary. So some are hardwood, like carpet. So again, the amenities do vary based on dorm. And then Lydia could talk about her transfer experience for dorming.
Yeah, I would say for transfers it's pretty similar. I don't remember the process fully, but I think you either have the choice to go random or pick a roommate. And similarly, there's like a transfer page where you can get to know people and talk to people, so you can meet a roommate through that. Or you can also, I'm rooming with my previous roommate from my transfer school, Stony Brook, so that was really nice. And yeah, I know also transfers can be paired with non-transfers. So my friend is a transfer student, but she's dorming with the junior. So a lot of different options, but I think it's a pretty simple process. Yeah. So it's pretty good.
And we could talk about our current housing situation. You could go first.
Yeah, so I'm living in a Gothic on West right now, and a lot of people hate on the Gothics just because they're old and kind of like musty, but I personally really like it because mine has hardwood floors and it also has really good bathrooms, so that's a plus. I will say it doesn't have laundry or like a water fountain really, and so like you have to go outside for laundry and probably just like bring a Brita around. But other than that, I mean, I think they're like things that you can deal with. So ultimately, I really like my dorm.
And for me, I'm also in a West Gothic, and it's funny enough, I don't have hardwood floor, I have carpet. I do have a laundry machine in my building, which is nice. But yeah, it's pretty old, I think, compared to hers. It was like more renovated. So it does depend also very on which West Gothic you get. But at the end of the day, it's just a housing. It's not too bad. Like, you'll get over it. Right. So it'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine wherever you end up.
All right, second question. What's the food like on campus and what are the meal plans?
Yeah, so as a freshman, you're put on the unlimited meal plans, which basically means you can't really choose your first year, which is okay. But the limit is basically you get unlimited meal size per week and 400 BRBs to spend on cafe campuses, again, per semester. In terms of like the different dining hall options on North, there's 3. So there's Risley, which isn't talked about a lot. It's like the gluten-free, like the, I think maybe nut-free, like allergy-free kind of dining hall option. Pretty nice actually, not that bad. And then Morrison, which is probably the most popular one because it's the newest one, it's the biggest one, and like the nicest looking one. And then Appel, which is also a nice option as well. So you have different dining hall options on North as well as like West, and then on Central you get one option, which is Oak and Shields, which is known to be the worst one. But again, you have different options around campus. The food never gets boring. Morrison is known for like their stir fry section. You also do like banh mi sometimes, like quesadillas. So again, so many options. And then after a freshman year, you kind of get to pick your dining hall plan. I'll list them here because I can't remember the top of my head. But actually, because we live on West, we kind of can't really pick our meal plan second year or like her first year because West is also kind of like unlimited. It might be called something else, but we kind of get it's unlimited 400 BRBs per semester. Also because West, you do like house dining on Wednesdays, which is kind of like fancier. They kind of set up the tables and everything. Like only those who live in that residence house can enter that like dining hall at 6, I think, from 6 to 7. It's only for those residents, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I want to talk about your favorite dining hall on campus.
Yeah, my favorite dining hall is Rose on West. It has a lot of Asian food and Like, I think the Asian food is really good. They have good desserts. Like, if you're vegan, they have really good vegan chocolate cake. And I think, like, just, like, the facility is also really nice. I think on West, like, I don't love the vibes of, like, Keaton, for example. It's kind of, like, a weird vibe to me. But, yeah, Rose is a really good vibe. And I also kind of like Oakenshields. Hot take. Because it's kind of just, like, comforting. It's, like, the only central dining hall. So, just, it's really convenient going there after classes, like, studying at Olin and like going straight to Oaks. So I like Rose and Oaks.
Yeah, I think for me also Rose and Becker tend to be very popular on West, and then obviously Morrison for North. I think it's just so many options, so big. Pasta's really good. It's like a go-to option. Like I usually get the stir fry too. I don't know why. It's just I think the experience is so cool. So yeah, again, many options. And if you are bored of Cornell dining or like the dining halls, we do have cafes on campus which use BRBs, which stand for Big Red Bucks. So basically kind of credits you can use throughout the semester. Again, you get 400 semester as a freshman. Again, so you could get like matcha, you get different drinks, like different cafes are known for different things. Like Trillium is known for like quesadillas, which are really good. Terrace for their orange chicken Wednesdays and Fridays, and Sage for their, what's it called again? Like the orange, not the orange, the crunchy
noodle
wraps. Yeah, they're pretty good. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard they're really good. So again, there's so many other options besides dining halls, and also seat time. We have different restaurants. So yeah, you never get bored of food here at Cornell.
True.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is, was the PE requirement and gym membership like at Cornell? So funny enough, there is a PE requirement. I thought it would just be in high school, but no, they carried it on here. So basically, as a freshman, or like if you come here as a freshman, you have to take 2 classes of PE. So basically, 2 credits in total. It could be either 2 different semesters or the same semester, as long as you get 2 done. I haven't done any yet, but I'll definitely take my upperclassmen years. But PE classes can range from like just walking around campus, or just like backpacking, taekwondo, I don't know, soccer. You could do sailing. So they really skiing. Yeah, there's so many cool options, which is kind of nice because it allows you to kind of de-stress from like all your academic court classes, which is nice. But I do have to say that you do have to pay like a small fee for most of them, and I guess the more cool they are, the more you have to pay. So just like a heads up for that. In terms of the gym membership, again, you do have to pay for that. It's not free, which is a little unfortunate, but I do recommend getting it. Like we both have it. I like the gyms at Cornell. I think I'm not a big gym girly, so again, like I'm not like too big into weights, but for like someone who's like usually goes to the gym, I think it's really nice just to go to gym, just to de-stress from my classes. I like to run, so treadmill, or those like weights. There's many weight options, and there's many gyms around campus. On like West we have Noise, on North we have Morrison, and I believe it's called, oh my god, Helen Newman. And then Central we have Teagle Up and Down. So again, there's different gyms on campus, which is nice because Cornell is a big campus. So yeah.
Yeah, and actually, for transfers, you don't need to take PE classes. It's not a requirement, but I think they might be changing that in the years to come. So that's kind of sad, but yeah, I think it's just like a really fun opportunity to do something random. Like my roommate's doing salsa for her PE. Well, she doesn't have to do PE, but she's just taking it for fun. So like that's the thing. Like people just take the PEs for fun as well, and. I also like for the gym pass, it offers like a lot of different things. Like I do spin classes sometimes with my friends. So just like even beyond just like working out, there's like a lot of fun stuff you can do with the gyms.
Yeah, nice. So I recommend getting gym pass if you can, and PE classes are pretty fun if you take it with friends or just like find interesting ones. So yeah. Okay, so another popular question is, what's the swim test? So basically a swim test, which is also funny about Cornell, is you kind of have to take a swim test here at Cornell. You can take it with any of the 4 years that you're here, but people mostly take it their freshman year. I got it over with my OB because they had so many options to take it. So it's like, I think it's either 2 or 3 laps around the pool, but don't worry, like if you're not a D1 swimmer, it's okay. They're not looking for D1 swimmers. Basically just want to make sure that you can swim. So you could do any style, like just go on your back and just like that. Like it doesn't really matter. So as long as you could do it. I heard they actually might have changed it a little bit this year for freshmen, so it might have been a little different actually from what I heard. But again, like don't be scared about it. It's very easy, very simple. Actually, funny enough, I enjoyed it. It was like a free I don't know why I enjoyed it, but I did. So yeah, it's something crazy. Just like it's very like a little thing you have to do once you get to Cornell. But for transfers,
yeah, so they don't really care if we drown because we actually don't have to take the swim test. I think the purpose of the swim test is just so you're able to swim because there's so many gorges around here, like a lot of opportunities to swim. So they want to make sure that you're safe, which is good. But yeah, transfers don't have to take it. I think that may also change as well in the future. But yeah, I've heard from some people that it's actually kind of difficult. Oh, yeah, like people were struggling, but I think like you should know how to swim for sure.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's good. Like
I think that's the reason why they make the swim test requirement. So those who don't know actually how to swim, it's okay.
Right.
You have to take the PE class for it, so intro to swimming or swimming class. So if you don't know how to swim, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You have a PE class for it, which is fine. But yeah, I think they want to make sure that all Cornell students are versatile, different skills. So like swimming one of them because it is an essential skill in life. So
it is.
Yeah, so that's what the swim test is like. So another question is, how does Cornell academics and like the workload compare to high school? So for me, I came from like a public high school and it wasn't too competitive. So definitely coming here was a little more challenging for sure. Like the workload in terms of like just being able to manage my time well. I think again, like my high school wasn't too competitive. So like the workload wasn't too hard. So here it was definitely harder for sure. So my freshman year, I definitely learned all about time management and just like go to office hours, asking for more help and just being more diligent with my work. And then Lydia could talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I also came from a public school, but it was a little bit more competitive, so I think the transition was a lot easier. But as for like professors and getting to know professors, I think for the bigger lectures where there's like 500 students, it is hard. Like they're probably not going to remember you if you go to office hours a few times. But as you move like higher up into classes where it's like 30 students, 15, then it gets really easy to talk to them and get to know them. And yeah, there's like so many opportunities to ask for help. Like these classes are not going to be super easy, definitely harder than high school. So you're going to want to go to office hours and like ask so many questions. So but then they make it easy. Like they give you the schedule, you know exactly where to go when. So I think as long as you're putting the effort in, the work isn't too bad here. I mean, honestly, no. What am I saying? It's a little bad.
It varies per major.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Oh, for sure. But I think everything is pretty doable.
Yeah, and again, I feel like from my experience, I'm taking like upper level classes this semester. I feel like the professors, again, this is smaller classrooms. I feel they definitely want to get to know the students more. They're more caring. I feel like I definitely see that, which is nice. Again, the big level classes, like the intro classes of freshmen, I feel like it's just harder to get to know the professors like that. But again, office hours are there. Like TAs are really willing to help you. So again, there's options for help, and again, your peers are a great option as well. So yeah, it's definitely doable, but it might be a transition for some who didn't come from like the super like STEM or like those kind of high schools, So yeah, it's definitely doable though. So don't worry, you'll be fine.
And I will say, like, if you did AP or like IB in high school, it's pretty similar. Like I'm taking bio here, and I think it's like pretty similar to AP biology. Like the concepts are very similar, and if you know kind of how to study generally, you can definitely adapt and like apply it here. So
it should be okay. You'll be okay, guys.
Yes. Wait, Maya, how do students get around campus?
Wait, that's a great question. So mostly I think 3 ways. The most popular one is, I think, walking around campus, actually. I tend to love walking around campus. I think campus is so pretty. It is a little hilly, I'm not gonna lie, in some parts, especially from west. But then again, there is a bus option. So we use a TCAT, which is basically the Ithaca's like public transportation, but it does go through like around campus a lot. So there's many stops on campus. And actually, as your first year at Cornell, so whether it be your freshman year or as a transfer, get the TCAT bus pass for free, which is nice, but after that you don't. So that's why I walk around campus, but you can pay for it, and it's not too bad, I think. But yeah, what I do in terms of my stop, for the TCAT, I use my stop, which basically tracks where the TCAT buses are exactly. So what I do if I'm like looking for a bus, I either go to like Apple Maps or Google Maps, and like it'll tell me like basically when it should arrive. But my stop actually is accurate where the buses are, so it can be a little inaccurate sometimes. So definitely use my stop to track the buses. And also, I do have to heads up that TCAT buses aren't the most reliable source of transportation. They can be late sometimes, so just a heads up, especially in the winter. And the third option is actually just like biking or scooters. Like I see people bike around campus, scooter around campus. I wish that was me, but I don't think I could own a bike around campus or like a scooter. So yeah, there's many options, but walking and busing is probably the most popular ones. Okay, so Lydia, what's your favorite lock-in spot on campus?
I would have to say Olin Library. It's one of the two main libraries on campus. There's Olin and Uris, and Olin is kind of known for being like a little older and mustier, but it has a very comforting, cozy vibe to me, and a lot of people go there because it's like pretty big. So on the first floor, there's like this lobby area with just like tables and computers, and then there's also the Asia section with like lots of individual study spaces, and it's really quiet in there, so that's good. And so I like studying there. And then also in the floors above, they have the stacks, so it's just like a bunch of books, but on the sides they have these cubicles that you can study in. I think they're designated for grad students, but it doesn't really matter, just anyone studies there. And then there's also a really good study, like group study rooms, so if you want to study with a friend group, like a little chill time, that's a really good place. But you also look, you have to reserve, or like it's always taken because there aren't too many, but I think it's like really worth it. There's a really good view, like bunch of windows, so you can see yours from there. I think you can see slope, you can even see the lake, so a really cool place, and a bunch of spaces, so I really like Olin.
Yeah, so unlike me, I don't like Olin or yours too much. If anything, I'm like more of a yours fan. But for me, my most like recent lock-in spot has been Catherwood. So Catherwood's in IVES, which is the ILR building. Just because I have class there this semester, so it's easy just to go there right after class. And it's lock-in. I don't know why. They also have like, they have two floors. Like the first floor is actually either group study area or like individual quiet area, so you kind of have to be quiet, and like individual desks, like kind of like all connected, but they have a little barrier, I guess, around it, which is nice. So I think I really enjoyed that. I think my aesthetic like study spots are either Gates, which is nice. It's like the like CS building, and then also Martha MVR, which is like kind of like the KeyMech building, and they have like this nice like lounge area. It's like super pretty aesthetic, so I like that. So there's many spots on campus, and again, your dorm is a great option, but it does vary per person if you like to be in your dorm or out on campus. And Lydia also mentioned like a lot of group study spaces and many like different libraries, like Olin, I think Man, like Uris, but you do have to reserve those, so you could easily reserve them online, like I think through Cornell Library, like the website or something like that. So it's super simple, but yeah, so many spots on campus, guys.
All right, next question. Is it easy to make friends at Cornell, and how social is the campus culture?
Yeah, so obviously as a freshman coming in, I definitely think it's easier to make friends just because everyone's so new to Cornell. I think so for a new start, so everyone's like willing to make friends and just reach out. I think what helped was me was I was a freshman. I didn't have that many people from my high school coming, so it kind of allowed me just to branch out and just kind of forced me to talk to new people, especially as a big introvert in high school. So definitely allowed me to like break out of my bubble a little bit. And it's crazy how like for me, most of my friends came from my O week, like I met like really early on when I was a freshman, and it's crazy because like people say, oh my gosh, I meet so many new friends like so early on, like a week, and I didn't really believe it until coming here. So it's crazy how it all turned out. Like I met people through my O week small group, just like different little things that happened throughout O week, which is crazy because O week in itself is like a blur in my head. But yeah, you just meet them so early on, if not, and that's also okay. I think there's also clubs and just different social groups on campus you could join to have that common interest. Like this Greek life is pretty big here, so if you're interested in Greek life, you can't rush until the spring, but again, I think there might be open houses, whatnot. Again, we're not in Greek life, so we don't really know too much. But Greek life is a big option. I know people do like go to Greek life for like social groups and just whole social scene. But if not, like also like different like pre-professional clubs or just like fun clubs in general, different organizations. There's so many options to make friends, especially as a freshman. So definitely say freshman year or like coming as a freshman is definitely easier. And then Lydia could talk about her transfer experience.
Yeah, I would say for transfers, it's definitely a little harder just because you are a year behind technically. But the really good thing about Cornell is that as a transfer, you're coming in with so many other transfers. This is such a transfer-friendly school. So like I was surrounded by transfers when I came here, and during O week they have like the regular O week events, but they also have transfer events, so really good chances to meet people. And I would say like I'm pretty close with the people I met during O week as well. Yeah, but I think the most important thing as a transfer is just like really putting yourself out there, because it's not just gonna happen overnight. Like you're not just gonna meet people and then like magically become friends with them. You have to just like go to these events. You need to go to these study sessions, even though you don't want to. Like that's how you're gonna build those connections. So even though it may seem like really tough to transition, and it is, like definitely leaving behind your friends at your past school is not going to be easy, but I think the beautiful thing about transferring is you get to meet so many new people like at two places, so really take advantage of that. And in no time, like, you will feel like you're at home as long as you're putting in the effort.
And also, I just know other transfers who are upperclassmen. Even if your sophomore year is not the best of friends, it'll get easier, especially junior and senior year. So yeah, and it does take time, but don't worry. There's a big transfer community at Cornell. A lot of people get the TO option actually. So they kind of already knew that they were going to transfer in even as a high school senior. So again, transfer community is pretty big here. So don't worry, it'll take time if anything. So it'll be okay.
Yeah. Wait. Also, I do feel like literally like so many people you meet are transfers. Like, what's like the person? I feel like the percentage is literally like 30. Like when I like talk to someone, like there's a 30% chance they're gonna be a transfer. So, like you're definitely not gonna be like alone. Also in this, like so many people to talk to about it, and just like you're not alone. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be a transfer.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Okay.
So, because Ithaca's in the middle of nowhere, some commonly asked question is, like, what do you do in Ithaca or Cornell besides studying?
So I'm from Long Island, which is pretty close to the city, and there's like a bunch of stuff to do. So coming to Cornell, it may seem like there's nothing to do, but actually I really love Cornell because you're in the middle of nowhere, but that's where you make the best memories because you're doing the simplest things, but it's just so much fun. So like my friends and I, we just hang out at each other's dorms, play cards. You know, you can go e-biking around campus. Again, there's like spin classes. You can go rock climbing. A lot of people do that on campus, like at the gym. And the slope, I love the slope. Like I think like if you know Cornell, you know the slope because everyone just loves it. And as the weather clears up and it gets better, like now people are like absolutely like hurting that place. Like it like it's kind of freaky. Like you look at the slope and there's just like people everywhere. But it's so cute. And sunsets are so nice on the slope. Everyone does like picnics. You know, you get food and then you just like eat it with your friends. I personally love going to the slope at night where I could just stargaze with my friends or without, and then like yeah, like I think there's just like so much to do if you look for it. Like yeah, I love picnicking on the slopes. Like at night, like my friends and I will just go like picnic blanket out, speaker blasting. Like it's just such a vibe. And if you're from like the city and you're coming to Ithaca, I think like it's really special to spend like these 4 years in such a different environment because you get to do like so many different things, right? And then if you're also even from like still like upstate and you're going to Ithaca, or like you're literally from Ithaca and you're going to Ithaca, right? Like even still there's stuff to do. Like my friend's from Rochester and she loves it here, you know, because we're just doing so many cute little fun things. So I think contrary to the belief that Cornell has nothing, it's something special in its own way.
Yeah, I think Lydia actually covered a lot of the things I was going to say, but I think the biggest thing for me, I think as of recently, because the weather's getting nicer, is the slope and just watching the sunset. I think it's been so truly healing. I think every college student coming out of hibernation, just like again, like she said, like the slope is like filled with so many people with picnic blankets, and just enjoying a good time in the weather and just the whole environment. Again, the sunsets at Cornell are so beautiful. Like I have so many sunset pics in my camera roll. I could probably post them like around here. But yeah, truly sunset and just like being on the slope, it's just like a core memory at Cornell. I think you just can't get anywhere else. And she said like a lot of it's like the friends and the company that you have. Honestly, I feel like at the end of the day, it's just like the people you surround yourself with. Because Cornell again is like the middle of nowhere. I know a lot of people from like state schools or just like more like local schools where people just go home like over the weekends because like they can, but most of us can't, so we are here on the weekend. So I think it's just because we're so like we're all here on campus throughout like 24/7. I think just like, we can make so many fun memories spontaneously. And again, I think one thing about Cornell, and I think Ithaca in general, again, middle of nowhere means beautiful nature. There's many gorges, waterfalls around campus. We have Cass Trail, which is on campus, which is really pretty. We went together like for the first time, like the Cass Trail, which is really nice. And there's also different like Taggart Falls, Buttermilk Falls, which are like a little bit of a drive away from campus, but definitely recommend going. There's also sport teams. Like in Cornell, hockey is pretty popular. Like basketball is pretty good this year actually. So there's also sporting events you can go to. So again, there's so many options. It's like it really depends on like if you really look for it and like the company that you're with at Cornell.
Yeah. Probably another big question is, how do we get into Cornell?
So long story short, there's so many ways to get into Cornell. So I won't give like exact details because I think getting to Cornell, there's so many different ways. There's not like one method. Like we all have a different stats or background. So again, I can't really answer this question here in this video, but I might do like a stats video in the future. We'll see what the vibe is like. But yeah, there's so many different ways to get into Cornell, but a question that I could answer later on. So yeah, maybe stay tuned. We'll see. So thank you guys for watching. That's all we have for questions. Again, big thank you to Lydia for helping me in this video. She has a YouTube channel, so definitely subscribe. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you just got into Cornell, congrats. So hopefully this video will help you in some sort of way, or if you just like wanted to know more about Cornell, hopefully this again helped you. And Lydia, last words?
Yeah, I would say Cornell's not for everyone, so don't feel any too much pressure to get in or to come here. Everyone's experience is different. We're just telling you guys what we think of Cornell, but don't take it too seriously. It'll be okay if you don't come here too.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye. Wait, how do students? Wait, okay. All right. Okay. Wait, how do students get around campus?
That's a great question, Lydia. Oh. I think that's really great. Okay, I'll answer. Okay. So yeah, basically to answer that question, long story short. Okay.
So last question to wrap it up. What's something you wish you know? Okay. All right, redo.